Welcome back everyone. Despite having not filled out their 15-man roster quite yet, there has been a lot of talk regarding the Lakers center position, and specifically with how they will utilize Anthony Davis. They pretty much had him exclusively play the 5 for them last season. They occasionally did pair him with Wenyen Gabriel, but that was about as far as they went. And it really did work out well for them too. Anthony Davis had the best and most durable year of his career in nearly 3 years now, and arguably his most productive one as a Laker. He grabbed a new career-high 12.5 rebounds per game, shot a career-high 56.3% from the field, and all around appeared to look like his old self again. And while he unfortunately did miss some time with injury, he never dealt with anything too serious. And then most importantly, he remained healthy throughout the postseason, completely erasing the narrative that playing at center leads to him getting hurt. I mean, I never really understood the logic behind that one anyways. With all of that in mind though, they do appear to be considering moving him back to power forward in some capacity, and we've heard about it from Rob Pelinka himself too.
Yeah, so we have 13 guys signed. We are actively in the market to add another big. Coach and I have talked a little bit with Anthony in the offseason about more minutes of some of the 2020 success we had where Anthony got to play with the big. I think adding Jaxson Hayes was key to that. I think Jackson, much like maybe Dwight Howard in that stretch for us, big body, rim protective, active roller. When you have on-ball guys like D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves, having someone who's willing to sacrifice their body and set a screen is important. I think Jackson's going to be big there, but we are looking to add an additional center as well.
Now, I imagine he will still be playing a majority of his time at the 5, but I think they want to add another dimension to their rotation, and for that reason I'm all for the idea of exploring it. However, you cannot simply pair just any big with him. It might have worked in Frank Vogel's simplistic offense, to put it lightly, but it will be much more difficult to make work in Darvin Ham's modern day offense. And knowing that, we're going to talk about what their center rotation could look like for the upcoming year. Again, I know they have not completely finalized their team quite yet, but it does appear that they are prioritizing a 3-point shooting big for their 14th spot, and we'll be keeping that in mind when talking about their rotation. Real quick before we get into it though, I would genuinely appreciate it if you could take a brief moment to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But without wasting any more time here, let's dive right into it. And we'll begin by taking a look at their current depth chart. At the moment, it obviously would not work to have a 2-big lineup. I mean, they only have 2 of them under standard contracts for the time being, with those 2 being Anthony Davis and Jaxson Hayes. And while they do have Colin Castleton under a 2-way contract, that will limit him to playing in 50 total games, along with not being eligible for the postseason, all of which only adds to the fact that he is an unproven rookie. Don't get me wrong here, I really like what he showed during Summer League, but I cannot imagine they'll feel confident giving him a large role to begin the year. He might be able to fill spot minutes for them here and there, but I don't think he'll be a big part of their rotation, and especially with him not providing anything significantly different compared to what they already have. Maybe if he offered 3-point shooting ability I could see it happening, because neither Anthony Davis nor Jaxson Hayes are particularly reliable from 3. They can both knock one down here and there, but they have not shown the ability to do it routinely. And the only thing that Colin Castleton provides that they do not is better playmaking. And while that really is quite the compliment, again, I don't see them giving him a large enough role to show it off during his rookie year. I really think they want and pretty much need a floor spacing big to make a 2-big lineup work for them, and whether that player ends up being Christian Wood or not, it's pretty obvious as what they are looking for. If they truly do plan to play AD and Hayes together, I would be pretty shocked. I think it would work at times defensively, and honestly even work pretty well too, but they would definitely struggle on offense. I mean, if you even paired them on the court with LeBron, which I imagine they often would be, they already would have a lack of floor spacing, and even with D'Lo and Reeves surrounding them it would still be tough. We're talking about 3 guys who are either non-shooters or are not really regarded as 3-point shooting threats. AD and Hayes obviously are not, and then LeBron is not much of a catch and shoot guy. Their opponents would happily give all 3 of them wide open shot attempts. I think the only way a 2-big lineup works with them is when LeBron is actually on the bench. That way they can put in a better catch and shoot guy like Taurean Prince, who is significantly better in that role compared to LeBron. Though it would still be very difficult to post up Anthony Davis in this kind of lineup. I mean, he already gets double teamed practically every time on the court, but they would be making it very easy on their opponent with Hayes out there. All they would have to do is leave Jackson Hayes open to double team Anthony Davis, and you cannot put Hayes down low to make up for that either. Doing that would only further clog the paint and make posting up AD even more difficult. And barring Hayes rapidly developing a more reliable 3-point shot, I'm not sure how they could routinely make a lineup work including those two together. It certainly could work for spot minutes here and there, but it would be difficult to work around on a game-to-game basis. Now, they might be able to get away with it when teams aren't really game planning for it, but that would definitely change come playoff time, and even the better teams during the regular season would take advantage of it. But even with all of that being said, I would still like to see them try it out defensively. They are both very mobile and athletic for their height, and even with what they are offensively, they can sort of make up for it on defense. Again, not sure if that would be a worthwhile trade-off, but it would be really fun to watch Hayes and Anthony Davis on defense. Both of them can switch onto forwards while at the same time offering rim protection too. And I'm really hoping that they can get creative enough to make it work on offense, because there is definitely a lot to like about their potential together on defense. But I imagine the two big lineup that they are truly envisioning here happens to be one with a floor spacing big. Anthony Davis can make up for a lack of defense, but he cannot make up for a lack of 3-point shooting around him on offense. And that is why they are going so hard after a guy like Christian Wood. He is without a doubt the best offensive big man left on the open market. Now, I for one worry about the other issues that come with him, but we cannot deny the offensive potential here. I mean, we have really never gotten to see what that looks like. Up until this point, the Lakers have never put a big like that around Anthony Davis. They've instead gone with more traditional ones that tend to get played off the court offensively. And I get it, they've really tried valuing defense over everything, along with initially granting AD's wish to remain at power forward, but they quite obviously have more potential with him at the 5. And the only way to find a happy medium here would be finding a stretch 5 to pair with him. That way he can kind of rotate between playing at the 4 and 5 on offense and defense. In my opinion, that is likely what they're envisioning here. I don't think they're planning for a too big starting lineup, but they do want the option of going to it within their rotation. And while they might, and I really mean might, be able to do that with Jackson Hayes here and there are a number of problems that could come with doing that, a majority of which we went over before. But getting a more versatile option could help them avoid those problems. Again, not saying that player has to be Christian Wood, but he's currently the only free agent big that could fill that role for them. However, he would become completely unnecessary if they kept AD in the same role compared to last season, and there are plenty of fans who believe they should do it. In reality, they might end up being forced to do that anyways. Christian Wood is by no means a lock to join their team, and if they fail to get him, there is not a whole lot of 3-point shooting big men left on the open market, which would likely lead to them signing a more traditional option like Bismack Biyombo. And I'm not saying that would be a bad thing either, because it definitely would not be. It would simply change the way they'd have to go about utilizing their center rotation. And there's really no wrong answer for that either. Everyone has their opinions on what would be better, but in reality, it all comes down to their creativity and of course the production they get from their actual players. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? How do you believe they should plan out their center rotation for next season? Comment your thoughts down below. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.